Hi friends, welcome back. So this is our concluding phase or the final phase of this chapter, method of differentiation. Today we are going to study the questions which came in previous JEE, and one thing you will find out after this video, that differentiation is actually quite easy. You will again think that this kind of questions, how can they appear in JEE, advanced or mains, but they have actually appeared. So you can expect in the coming parts or in the coming JEE papers, the level of differentiation, the questions won't be as higher as compared to other topics, but again you should be conceptually sound. The things which we have learned, you must do a lot of practice on that, then only you can ensure that it will become quite easy. Let's start with IIT-JEE questions and see how easy it is. Let us have IIT-JEE at glance. Okay, starting with the first question quickly, without wasting any time. This question came in JEE 2004. Now you will be surprised. Oh my God, this kind of question. This is so easy. Okay, one of the most easiest questions that we can do, that we can expect actually in JEE. Okay, implicit function. If you remember from that concept. So then we have to calculate y dash 0. Okay. So obviously, first we are going to do the differentiation, that is taking the derivative on both the sides. So this will give me 1 plus y dash. Okay, this is equal to twice of x y dash, and this is plus y. Okay, so we need to calculate y dash at 0. So obviously we can simplify at this step only. Don't go for y dash. Okay, first put x equal to 0. So this is 1 by y, 1 plus y dash, and again we will be calculating this value at 0 also. Okay, that what will be y corresponding to this one. Okay, that is the trick here. Okay, so this is equal to 2 y. That's it. Okay, basically this is 2 here, this becomes 0 at 0, and 2y. So 1 plus y dash comes out to be 2y square, and y dash at 0 comes out to be 2y square minus. Now only thing left is we have to calculate y. Okay, so y will be, we can get from here, put x equal to 0, ln y equal to, this is 0 right inside. So at what value of y, this is 0, obviously at y equal to 1. All of us know that ln 1 is equal to 0. So obviously y will be equal to 1. So here we will put 1 and we will get 1 as the answer. The only thing which this question differentiates is like once you solve y dash, you will be wondering, okay, we have got 0. There is no y is equal to fx given. So how do we get y value? But don't worry, even in implicit function, the values will be such that you will be able to obtain the y from this part only, like we did in this question. Okay, so moving on to the next question. This was very easy question. The question says, okay, now this is a good question. Okay, fx is a continuous and differentiable function, and f of 1 by n is given to be 0. Then we have to see, okay, now this came in IIT-JEE 2005. Okay, so looking at the options, okay, fx equal to 0, from x belonging to 0 to 1. Okay, so it says basically continuous and differentiable function, and f of 1 by n is equal to 0. N should be greater than equal to 1. Okay, and n belongs to integer here, not 1. So then we have to think, okay, so the first thing we should do in this question is, like, obviously f of 0, for that n tends to infinity, obviously that will be 0. So f of 0 will be equal to 0, either this or this. Okay, and why this one? Now this type of question, again the main thing is that which option should we select. Okay, so we need to check from the option itself that whether that is true or not. Okay, so in this one, if my x is belonging to 1, okay, so fx will be 0 for x belonging to 0 to 1. It says, so basically if I invert it, what will it become if I invert it? F of, if I take 1 by n equal to x, that's what it says. So fx will be equal to 0. Now 1 by x should be less than 1, because when we invert it, so x has to be greater than 1. That's what it says. So obviously this is not true. You can check it again. What I have done is x equal to 1 by n. Okay, because here x, it is saying that we need not 1 by this, we need x. Okay, so when I do this fx equal to 0, for that what I'll get? 1 by x. Obviously if I am putting this here, I am not substituting, so this sign will be remaining same only. Okay, so x has to be less than equal to 1. So there is no lower limit. Okay, there is no lower limit to x, so we cannot say for 0 only, it can be for less than also. Okay, means if the value is negative. Same goes for this. Okay, now for this and this we will check. Okay, that well, let us try to find f dash of 0, because this is required in this also, in this also. For double dash also we will be requiring f dash x. If it satisfies, obviously we are going to take that thing. So f dash of 0, how we are going to define that? F of 0 plus h minus f of 0 divided by h. Okay, so just now we have figured out that as n tends to infinity, f of 0 is 0. So we don't need this. Okay, now f of h over h, here h is tending to 0. Now if I take n tends to infinity basically, such that h is equal to 1 by n, I can play with this thing. Okay, so this will become basically f of 1 by n and 1 by n. Okay, now this is very interesting. 1 by n and limit n tends to infinity. Okay, now here most of you will say that we have again stuck, but we are not. Okay, now here this form is basically tending to infinity into 0. Okay, now we have read that infinity into 0 is not defined. Now this is not same as this. Please keep this in mind. This is very important, that here n is tending to infinity, n is not equal to infinity. Okay, or this form is only applicable when you put the value, you see, but this is exactly 0. This is not tending. Okay, even if both of them are tending, then also we can say it's an ambiguous case, but one of them is definitely 0, we know that, and the other one is tending to infinity, so that will be 0 itself. So from here we can say that f dash is also 0. So this is obviously, so this was single choice question, so we don't have much, but again if it would have been multiple choice, again this is wrong now. Okay, so B is there, you can go for the double dash also, but I guess since we are not getting this one, so obviously there is no use of this one. Okay, so obviously this will be the only answer. Okay, so moving on to the next question. This was really good question. Okay, moving on to the next question. Let f and g be the real valued functions defined on interval -1 to 1 such that g double dash is continuous. This is not equal to 0. Okay, so there is something missing here. This is equal to 0 and this one is not equal to 0. Yeah, because this question came in JEE 2008 and quite familiar with the question, because this is a very good question. Fx is given to be this. So we have given two statements, and again we have to go like that, whether this statement is true or not. So let us remove all the things from here. Let us keep only the useful things. Okay, so we are requiring these things only, and yeah, fx is given to us. We need to find this thing, f double dash x. Okay, so we'll go for first f dash x, and then we will find the f double dash x. Okay, so f dash x will be g dash of x and sin x plus cos x into gx. Now we need to find f dash of 0. Okay, so this is 0, sin x sin 0 is 0, and this will be 1 into gx, that is g of 0. So this statement is true, there is no doubt about that. So we have basically eliminated two options, that this is false and okay, this can also be true, but we have just eliminated this one. Okay, So either it can be A, or it can be B, or it can be D. Let's check whether statement 1 is giving that, and obviously we'll see that what the reason is. Okay. So this one again, as we can see that f double dash, if I want to find, okay, so what I have to do, f double dash, it will be f dash of 0 plus h minus f dash of 0, because see, when we are going for the successive differentiation, that's the crux, that if you are having a f dash, this is again a function. So all the properties which you applied this for f, now if you find f double dash x, same will be applied for this. Like f double dash x will be basically equal to g dash of x, which you can apply g of x plus h minus g of x over h, like this you can do. Okay, so there's no, we can draw the corollary. Okay, whatever f dash is for f, f double dash is same for f dash x. Okay, so here it will be h limit h tends to 0. Again we need to do at 0. So this is 0 again, I have already put it 0. So okay, let us find f dash h. Okay, so this was f dash x. Okay, so f dash at h will be equal to g dash of h and sine h plus cos h g of h. Okay, so this thing is f dash x, f dash of this thing, and f dash of 0 is simply your g0. Okay, g0. Okay, this is minus g0 by h. Okay. Okay, so once we are putting it, limit h tends to 0. Okay, so what we need to do here is, again I am seeing something like g0 here, so this is what is required. So cosec x will be required, so obviously we will be requiring a sine here, sine h, and the other one will go here, it will be sine h. So this will be going upward, maybe as cosec x. Instead of x we need to find h. Okay, so let us try to simplify the situation. Okay, so let us take individually. Okay, individually for each, whether we can eliminate the things or not. Okay, so this one, if I take the first one, g dash of h into this thing with sine h by h. Now this is 1, as we know the limit, and g dash of 0 is 0. So this one is basically gets eliminated. Okay, so this simplifies our thing. Now these two, again, as you can see that here we will let this as equal to 1. For the first one it was not necessary, this form. First one we opened it up nicely. I'll do it with the other colored pen. Okay, what I've done is I've segregated the three terms. Okay, what I'm saying, g dash of h sine h by h plus cos h gh by h minus g0 by h. This is what I've done. So this one I'm saying this is 1 and this is 0. So our purpose gets solved. Here if I put 0, I'm getting nothing. This is not 0, this is 1, this is by 0. I cannot go by that. So what I will be doing, sin h by sin h. Okay, so this is basically 1, this gets eliminated, so this gets converted to cot h, which is there in this part. Okay, so I am assuming now I am getting that this is equation is right. So this is again cosec and this converts to 1. So this statement is true. And why it is true again? Because we have put here, we have used statement 2. Okay, so obviously statement 2 explains the statement 1. Like we are using a result of statement 2 to obtain the statement 1. So obviously this should, my call on this will be A, that statement 1 is true, 2 is true, and this is the explanation for this one. Why? Because we are using a result here at this step, that this value is equal to 0. From here g0, sorry, not 0, g0. Okay, that is helping us to get g0 in this one. Okay, so again a brilliant question. Okay, Let us focus on the next question quickly. Again, perfect. The one I was talking in the inverse, the inverse miscellaneous part I was talking about inverse function. Same thing is there, okay, in JEE 2009. So these are the areas like while going through the slide, okay, the questions which we are doing in this, the questions which we will be doing in the video solutions, you must focus from which concepts we have picked, and those concepts are going to be again appearing in the coming exams, okay. So for this again we will take two forms, g of fx and x is equal to f of, and we'll see that which form is more utilizable and which is more, okay. So okay, yeah, so here we are requiring g dash of 1, okay. So g dash of 1 again, from this what we will get, always do not just be judgmental straight away, okay. Write both of the forms, then you will be always having a clear picture, okay, that what you are up to, okay, what information you require and what information you have, okay. G dash of, okay, so this thing we are requiring at g dash of 1, okay. Obviously we will have f dash of x, okay, but we can't calculate f dash of gx, okay, because that will again be a complex. So this one is eliminated where you are having f dash something, okay. This one is selected, why? Because g dash of 1, so what we have, we want fx to be equal to 1, why? So that we can get g dash of 1. So 1, as we can see clearly, from 0 if we put, it will be e raised to power 0, that will be 1. So at x equal to 0 we are getting our solution, okay. So this is 1 here. If I differentiate, this is g dash of fx into f dash of x. So here if I put x equal to 0, okay, what I will be getting, g dash f of 0 into f dash of 0. So this is f dash of 0, as I have stated, this is 1. Okay, now f dash we can easily find. This is 3x square plus half ex by 2. Okay, now these rules must have been clear by now, okay. So at 0 the value will be half, yes, okay. So this one will be f dash of 0. At 0 this will get eliminated, this is half, so this will be into half. So g dash of 1 will be equal to 2. So this came as integer type question, okay. So hence we don't have options for this, okay. So this came as integer type questions, and again a good question. If you don't know this concept, you will just end up in scratching your head and getting nothing out of that. So the major purpose why we are solving the same questions again, so that you get used to of the varieties of question. These are the limiting varieties, and from the question itself we are learning the concept, okay. Let us move on to the next question. Brilliant, okay. This one is beauty, okay. This is not a differentiation question at all, okay. You will just say in the end that it's so easy, okay. So f of theta, okay, is this one, okay. Now this is a perfect trigonometric question, okay. So what my call on this questions is that we always let the inside one as theta is given, say alpha, okay. So what is our f theta? F theta is sine alpha, where tan inverse this thing is alpha. So from this I can get tan alpha. What is tan alpha from this? Sine theta upon root cos theta, cos 2 theta. So if I have tan alpha, can't I get sine alpha? Beautiful question, okay. This is again, you will be saying that how from this we are getting this. So this is, imagine this to be an angle, okay. This is an angle and you are taking sine of that. So what I am doing, you are converting angle in terms of basically tan inverse is perpendicular upon base. So I can convert that as equal to sine inverse. If I write tan inverse p by b is equal to theta, okay. Because I know tan theta is nothing but p by b. So can't I write sine theta as p upon under root of p square plus b square from this information, and I can make this theta as sine inverse. So theta in terms of this can be converted as sine inverse of this thing, perpendicular over perpendicular square plus base square. This is very, very important how to get converted. So tan alpha is there, so I can calculate sine alpha. Sine alpha will be perpendicular, which is nothing but sine theta. Okay, and this is denominator under root of sine square theta plus this is under root of cos 2 theta will be cos 2 theta. Now this is again cos square theta minus sine square theta, in which sine square theta will get cancelled and you will end up in having cos square theta, which in turn under root of that will give cos theta. So this will ultimately result get into tan theta. So as you can see how difficult this question was looking at the beginning. I even didn't read the question because I've done this question before also in my lectures, online lectures. So again, a very, very famous question from JEE 2011. A very, very brilliant example that the question in the JEE appears to be of differentiation, but it's actually not. Okay. So this is what you can perfectly learn, that the basics will be applied of one chapter, but the actual simplification will be coming from the other chapter. Okay. Now this is very easy. D of tan theta with respect to tan theta, this will be 1. Okay. So this was very easy to understand that the answer will be 1 itself. Okay. Not a big problem that d tan theta equal to this will be, we are measuring the variable tan theta with respect to change in tan theta. Okay. So this was very, very good question as far as the simplification, because now I've done it, it looks very easy. Okay. But if you, I can guarantee you that if you find another question like that, you will again have to work hard to crack such questions. Okay. So practice some questions, and as I have mentioned in the previous parts also, for this differentiation, question observing is very, very important. So video solutions, look at them very carefully and be prepared. Like here in differentiation, do not learn concepts and then do questions. From question itself, try to learn the concepts. If you have any doubt in this topic, you can post it for free on askIITian website. For this, just visit the askIITian.com, and there you can visit discussion board. It will direct you to Ask Expert, where you can select the category, and according to the category post your question and click the Get Answer button. Experts at askIITian will answer your query within 24 to 48 hours. So I hope that the thing which I said in the beginning, that this is the questions level will be easy, and they are actually indeed very easy. Only 1 or 2 questions which were discussed, they had good tricks, and they were actually not tough for once you become expert, but yeah, initially they will, again all the questions will appear tough. There will be some small element of things which are required to crack this part. So let me summarize everything for you before going, that we started with geometrical meaning of differentiation, physical meaning. We discussed about some standard derivatives. I asked you to learn about that. Then we did different types of differentiations, which included logarithmic differentiation and parametric differentiation. And again, I forgot to mention, we also did some differentiation rules before that. And then in the miscellaneous, I gave you some more formulas to mug up. Why I didn't give you all at one time? So as to keep you limited, and you won't say, okay, we have to learn 50 formulas. No, not like that. I give it slowly, so that you can mug it up slowly, and again that will be more beneficial. And again we concluded with some questions based on successive differentiations and whatever concepts which we have learned. And here we just did IIT-JEE previous year questions. I hope my aim of doing this method of differentiation and the question which we begin with is all clear and all justified, and continue to serve more. For more videos on physics, chemistry, maths and biology, please visit our website askiitians.com.